Welcome everyone to Superhero Gaming, my friends. We are on episode 17. Man, thank you for all your support and just watching and viewing, giving me feedback and just being awesome. So today, as I alluded last week, we are going to be covering the Avengers, but not the recent Avengers game. We're going way back to 1991 in the arcades, which took so much of my freaking quarters. We are going to be talking about Captain America and the Avengers, which was released in 1991 by Data East. And this is a side scrolling beat 'em up arcade game that capitalized on the popularity of Marvel superheroes in the booming arcade scene. The game quickly became a fan favorite not only for its fast paced co op gameplay, but also for its endearing, cheesy voice samples and iconic comic book flair, which we will discuss in the sound department. And it's a time where superhero games were still a hit or miss. But Captain America and the Avengers stood tall as a memorable entry in the arcade brawler genre. This also was ported to the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, I believe, later on. But I feel like the arcade version is the better version. And the game was developed and published by Data East, which is a Japanese company known for arcade hits like Bad Dudes versus Dragon Ninja. And the game was officially licensed by Marvel Comics, obviously, making it one of their few officially sanctioned Marvel arcade games of that era. Data East had already developed ties with Marvel through pinball machines, so the transition to license a video game was a logical step. Captain America and the Avengers was released at a time when arcade beat 'em ups were hugely popular. It was following the success of Capcom's Final Fight, which came out in 1989, and of course Konami's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which came out also in 1989. And rather than just a cash in, Data East created a visually distinctive, highly stylized game that embraced comic book aesthetics, complete with comic book style panel cutscenes and exaggerated voice samples like "Thank you, Wonder Man." I love that. All right, so what is the story about? Guys, it's an arcade game, so you won't get too much of a story, but the straightforward is Red Skull has assembled a group of Marvel villains to help him take over the world. He's using a giant laser cannon. He uses a device to control powerful criminals, and only the Avengers can stop him. The game spans multiple locations such as city streets, Atlantis or undersea bases, and even outer space, culminating in a showdown with Red Skull himself. You get to select from four heroes: Captain America, the balanced leader with his iconic shield toss. You have Iron Man, equipped with his repulsor blast in flight. You have Hawkeye, who has long range bow attacks. And then, of course, you have Vision, who can phase and has aerial combos. Though light on dialogue, the game includes short cutscenes and comic book stills and campy one-liners like "You'll be the one escaping." That has become cult favorites among us 80s babies and 90s kids out there that played this in the arcade. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, at its core, it is a 2D side-scroller beat 'em up, but it innovates with projectile attacks as a primary mechanic. Each character can throw projectiles. For example, Captain America can toss his shield, Hawkeye can shoot his bows and his arrows, and making the game feel more ranged than its peers. Basic melee combat, grabs, and jump attacks round out the arsenal. The game allows up to four players simultaneously, depending on the arcade cabinet model. This was multiplayer chaos mixed with diverse enemy types like Ultron, Whirlwind, and Crossbones create some really cool boss battles. And they also have an occasional shoot 'em up section which breaks the action so it doesn't feel too monotonous, such as flying through the air in jet suits or piloting underwater mechs. This was a brief break from the beat 'em up segments of it. You also have your boss fights with Juggernaut, Ultron, Mandarin, Grim Reaper, and of course Red Skull, which honestly was the most disappointing boss battle after all this build-up. One thing I have not mentioned, or I think I alluded to, this game is hard. Holy God, in the arcade, this game is hard. Hell, even recording the gameplay for this with unlimited quarters, this game is hard. This game was brutal, and it only takes you a half an hour to beat. But because if you just all right, for my younger audience, picture this. You're in the arcade, you got all your coins, you're with your boys or you're with your girls, and you're playing this game, and you are getting your ass handed to you. You will lose $20 worth of quarters quickly, even just by yourself, because this game was brutal. Like the way the enemies were just swarm you, or just sometimes it just felt like for me like they took a lot more energy than they're supposed to. But it is such a fun game, but just brutal, man. This is not an easy arcade game. Probably one of the more harder Marvel arcade games. I honestly think X-Men the arcade game was a little bit more easier than this one. Now, in terms of graphics, the game embraced the comic book art style. It has bold outlines, vibrant colors, character sprites faithfully to their Marvel designs. While not as polished as Capcom or Konami's best efforts, the visuals stood out for their stylized charm. The environments vary greatly. City streets, like I said, you have your underwater levels, you have your space levels, and it looks gorgeous. It does feel like it paid homage to the Marvel comic book world. I thought the bright colors and the way everything looks, and obviously there was no frame rate issues at that time. Now, sound. The sound design is probably the most memorable part of the game because it is unintentionally hilarious. You have voice samples that really feel like straight from a comic book. You cannot escape. You'll be the one escaping. America still needs your help. Thank you, Wonder Man. Or hello, Wasp. It's the low quality but heavily compressed voice word gives the game a strange charm. It's often cited in so bad it's good retrospectives, but I feel like players like us, we finally remember it for its over top delivery, and it's just so comic booky if it makes sense to you. It gives you that Adam West type of feel to it, to be honest with you. So, to wrap this particular up before we go play the game, Captain America and the Avengers stands as a fun, frantic, and faithful representation of the 90s Marvel in arcade form. Its colorful visuals, iconic one-liners, and satisfying four-player mayhem made it a highlight of Data East's arcade catalog. While it's not perfect, it left a lasting impression and paved the way for more polished superhero video games to come. Now, with that being said, my friends, it's time to play Captain America and the Avengers. Let's play a level. All right, time to play a level. Grim Reaper has regained consciousness, and Red Skull has commanded him to fight the Avengers to the finish. What has Red Skull planned next? Challenge from the bottom of the sea. Okay, let me stop.
Avengers assemble!
And there you hear it. Avengers assemble! And this is what I'm talking about with this brutality. Okay, I managed to get... Alright. What the hell? There we go. Let's go. Ooh, there we go. Damn. Go ahead, Cap. Damn. There we go. I forget how brutal this game truly is at times. There we go. Alright, let's go. What evil thing has you done? Cutie superheroes, I'll shut you up once and for all. Alright, wizard. There we go. Now, could you imagine with quarters? Like, I have unlimited here, but could you imagine constantly putting your quarters in because you just keep getting your ass handed to you? And I just spam with the shield. That's all good. They're in the sea. Thank you, Submariner. Thank you, Namor. And this is where we get some of that shoot 'em up elements here in the game. And just graphically, it still holds up to this day, guys. Just look how gorgeous this looks. It really does bring that comic book aesthetic to life. You can't hate on this. There we go. Come on. I'm just gonna spam this. Obviously, this is the only attack I can have. Spam. Oh, here we go. Oh, thank you, Namor. helping out, dude. Much appreciated. Oh, not this thing. This is where this little piece of shit used to take a lot of my quarters because of that. The constant grabbing. Look at that. Cheeser. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Damn it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Damn it. Almost there. Come on, almost there. Yes! Let me add some more quarters because we about to get back to the beat 'em up section here. I like that transition. Look at all these enemies just for me. You definitely need your friends for this. Jesus. Let's go. I think next time if I do an arcade game, I'll have Des here. We'll just do it. That way you can see more people playing this. Alright, gotta break this. There we go. Thank you, Quicksilver! No! Yo, stop grabbing me! Oh, there we go, Cat. Let's go. There we go. This is what I'm talking about, Cat. This is what they want to see. Kick some ass. There we go. That was a good sequence. Alright, who's the boss?
See my power!
Mandarin. And I like how they incorporated Iron Man's villains, Cat's villains is in here. People that Hawkeye had beef with, Vision, because Vision will face Ultron, you know. So I like the variety of Marvel villains in this that Red Skull has assembled to face the Avengers. Nope. We gotta complete this level. Spamming that shield. Oh, son of a bitch! Son of a bitch! Yo, stop! Alright, Mandarin's about to be done, folks. So I want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Superhero Gaming. Son of a bitch! Oh my god! Can we just end this guy? Superhero Gaming. And if you like what we do here, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hopefully we'll earn your subscription. Hit the notification bell. I'll be back next week with another episode of Superhero Gaming. Thank you. Later days.